So SQL has different capabilities. There are majorly three. We have the projection, where it can be positioned to specify the columns that you want to be to display, specific columns that you want to display. Then selection is where you can specify the rows that you want to be retrieved, and then join is where you can be in position to join two or more tables together, as we shall see later in the course of so the selection, this is the SQL capability for specifying the rows one is interested in retrieving from the database. So this is done by using the where clause, okay? So you can say the select clause from the table, and then you specify the condition. So in this case, you can say select from student where registration number is equal to this. So the where will tell you specifically what row you want to return. Okay. So during the select, when you're using the select kind of capability, you have some operators, like I have said, where registration number is equal to this, where age is greater than or equal to that. So these are the different operators that we're going to use. And you can say between this and that. For example, select all students whose date of birth is between 1980 and 1992. And then you have the like, where you want the statement to return only those people that you, for example, you can say like the last name ends with an A or it starts with an R. We're going to see all these different operators and how they are used in SQL, but it is imperative that you know how we use them. Okay, so we have logical conditions still in the selection. So a logical condition combines the results of two component conditions to produce a single result based on them. So in other words, when you're looking at the logical conditions, you're looking at a row is returned only and only if it does adhere to the condition that you have specified. And we have three kinds of logical operators. We have the not, and or. So not implying that whatever you want to read, whatever you have specified, it should not include what you have specified. The and is you should include both this and that, or the or is you should include either this or that. That is what those logical conditions mean, and we shall see how we use them. Data retrieval from one table. So we can retrieve data. Either you can retrieve all the columns and all the rows. So there is a specific statement that helps you to retrieve data from all the rows and all columns. There is a specific syntax that will help you to retrieve specific columns and all the rows. There's another syntax that helps you to retrieve all the columns and specific rows. And then there's a specific syntax that will help you to retrieve specific columns and specific rows. So for example, if you look at this, okay, retrieving all columns and rows from the tables, this one will select all from student. Everything that you have in the student will be displayed, okay? Then this one will specify specific columns and rows from the table. So in this case, these are the only tables that you want to be displayed. Remember, this table has many other, it has date of birth, pro code, and cost code, but the only ones that you want to return are registration number, first name, and last name. That is the code that you use. Where you want to retrieve all the columns, but you only need specific rows to be returned. So when you say select all, remember I say this asterisk means all. So you select all from students where the registration number is this. This will return only one row because The assumption is registration number is a primary key and therefore it cannot have repetitive values. And then also where you're retrieving specific columns and specific rows, now here in your select statement, you define the particular rows that you want to retrieve, and then you tell us from the student, and then you specify the registration number. We are going to see how also this works out. So this is a simple quiz, okay, which at the time when we are doing the Zoom meeting, I want all of you to have tried out this, because during our Zoom sessions, I'm not going to be teaching, but it's going to be a Q&A kind of discussion, because I have literally taught the theory and also the theoretical part of the practicals, and I have actually taught the practicals themselves by using the DBMS in my SQL console. So what you will do is you will try to attempt this quiz, and then when we're doing our online classes through Zoom, we shall be trying to see what were the results, what was returned. So I implore you to try out all these quizzes and everything that I told you to work out with, otherwise you will not be in position to follow through. So using the distinct keyword, so we're saying that the purpose is to enable the retrieval of only unique set of rows. You only want to retrieve the rows that are not repetitive. So for example, if you say select distinct last name from the student, okay? So in this case, it will only return the values that are not repetitive. So where you have someone's last name and it appears more than once, it will not retrieve. So you can specify multiple columns after the distinct qualifier, which results into distinct tuples. So still you can have the distinct being applied on different columns. Okay. So we have arithmetic operators and expressions, okay? So we're saying that the arithmetic operators present in SQL include, you can use a plus, a minus, an asterisk for multiplication, and then you also divide. So this can be used in any clause except from the from clause. So you can use them in the where clause, in the distinct clause, in all those clauses, but you cannot use them in the from clause. So same operator precedence rules that apply in SQL statements. In other words, it uses the same rules as you see in the SQL statements, the different SQL statements, like the select statement and the alter or the drop statements. Arithmetic expressions can contain column names, they can have constant values, and they can have arithmetic operators. Then we have what we call expressions. Okay, an expression is a composition of various operators and operands. That is an expression that we usually use to evaluate a single value or a set of values in a table. We basically have three types of expressions. We have the Boolean, we have the numeric, and then we have the date expression. So the Boolean fetches the data based on matching a single value. So for example, if you look at this generic statement for this expression, we're saying select the columns that you want from a given table where the single value should match the expression. So the example here, you say select all from program where tuition fees is equal to 3.2 million. So this is a Boolean expression that is going to return a single value. Then we have the numeric expression. It is used to perform any mathematical operation in any query. This is the generic syntax for that, for a numeric for a numeric expression. So you select the numeric expression as operation name. So in what you see here as the first line, we're saying select numerical expression as operation name. Now, as the operation name is the alias, this one here is the alias. So that means that your column is going to be named operation name. So as is the alias. So that the column is going to be operation name. From, you specify the table where you want to have this expression done, and then you specify the condition. Okay, so that is, so if you look at this you can select 10 plus 11 as addition. Addition is going to be the name of the column. So there are several built-in functions like average, sum, count to perform aggregate data calculations against the table. This is an example of a numeric expression where I say select count. Count means that I want you to count all the records in the table. So this is what it means. Select count all. So you're saying all that want you to count and give us the total number of rows that are in the table as records. So that means that that table is going to be represented. The column name is going to be called records from student. We shall see this again during the practicals. Then we have date expressions. These return current system date and time values. And this is, you can select current underscore timestamp, and it will give you the current date, or you can also use this as another expression for date. Okay, so these are just examples of the date expression, numeric expression, and the character expression. The character expression, this one, is where you see the concat. Concat means that you're going to add both the first name and the last name into one column. That is concat. So you will see your column name is going to be first name, last name. That is the concat. Okay, so now using column aliases, we're saying that a column heading is changed by using a column alias with the purpose of making the column heading more descriptive. Double quotation marks must be used when the alias has spaces. So in other words, you can, where you say first name. So in that case, make sure that you use double quotes for that particular alias. So the aliases are case sensitive, and also they can have special characters. They are useful for calculations and may be defined using the as keyword. So the as keyword is the one that defines the aliases. So you can try this when you say select concat. So these are going to be connected together. Name. So you, instead of having first name, last name, the column is going to have the name. So you have coursework 1 times 11 as first coursework from the course table. This I did explain. I'm not going to explain it again. And then we have the order by. I said that the order by allows you to list the column in a particular order or to sort them in a particular order, either sorting them in ascending or sorting them in descending order, as we shall see. But it usually appears at the end of the select statement. The order by usually appears at the end. It is the last clause at the select statement. So, because this video is about to end, let me discuss the update operation in another video. Thank you very much.